you like recording curses? I like recording curses. I like not being able to beat this sooner than later. Yeah. It's actually been a couple of nights since my last attempt. It's been so long since I've started. And I'm still on the first pallet. And I'm so sick of having to explain stuff for the 15th time. And I'm not even doing these all back to back. Anywho, we all get easy floors at the start. This is the more expected thing you will see when you start this mode. Sometimes you'll get a hard floor and a normal floor, or sometimes no easy floors will show up, but it's very rare. I think I want ink recovery rate up. Not much in terms of increasing value on certain attributes, but I feel this might be the best solution. So yeah, our first game mode is going to be ball pushing. The sink the 8 ball. Yep, just like an Octo expansion, only way easier to do. Simply because there are invisible walls that prevent this thing from falling into a pit and causing the ink sac behind us to violently explode. The main thing you have to worry about is marching lentos trying to destroy this thing. Actually, not trying to destroy this thing, but trying to ward this thing away from your goal. This is also, and on top of that, this is also the only floor, this is one of the few floors that only have an easy variant. There will be floors that only have a rigorous variance, mind you, but this is one of those cases where it's just, there's only one variation of this floor. And there we go. Easy as that. The higher the floor difficulty, the higher the reward. And sometimes you either want to risk it for the biscuit or just take the chip on an easier floor. Now this is a chip I don't want to use. I have limited use of my drone simply because turning on drone hacks goes against Hackless runs. So don't expect me to use drone chips that often. This is a range chip. It's all about coverage and range with this thing. And this is good to have if you are going to try to get your hands on main range up. So yeah. But I want this. This will basically make our palette probably purple. We have purple palettes. Purple palettes are support palettes and such. Purple chips, they're basically support chips and such, and their job is to basically, like knock back to push foes away for extra room, recovery of ink to allow additional shots. Shots hinder enemies by slowing them down in your ink, stuff like that. And usually it's all about ink recovery, ink saving, stuff like that. And the highest one I can recommend in terms of a build in terms of trying to make a build with support chips, for a run like this, go with knockback. Knockback is really, really useful for it. And now to find the other one, which is all the way over there. Got really close to hitting it. Now, we're attacking panicking a la Mambos. These gelatins are modeled after ocean sunfish, thanks to Animal Crossing, now that I know what those are. And they're huge. They're very huge fish. That's not useful. Oh god, no. Let this be one of these floors I will deliberately avoid for this series. Simply because it's impossible on this game mode. If you want to actually beat it, you basically have to turn on hacks, because trying to beat it without hacks is just torture. I'll probably do a showcase of floors I deliberately chose to avoid just for demonstration. Now, they have one attack. They can leave behind a splat bomb. This is their easiest form of attack. They can do this to basically save themselves and possibly damage you in the process. So they don't always have a kick me sign, and that was a really cool shot. No joke. Like, oi. Now, another thing you may notice is that Pearl will always point towards where the target is, and sometimes will point towards other looming threats. Sometimes the sub can also get some knockback, and here is my best recommendation of using the... well, that worked. Of using the Trizuka. Shove away enemies. If they're too close together, part them by shoving away, them away with a simple blast. I don't exactly have money for this floor, so let's get to the bowl floor and do a third Fleeting Foes floor. So yeah, don't use your sub-weapon. Sure, I can live with that. If a challenge floor doesn't seem worth it, and believe me, I am so sick of wanting to avoid these floors simply because I'm so sick of the games deciding, hey, what if we decide to make you, force you to stop doing something that's absolutely vital to survive just for the sake of having a bonus. If it's not worth it, just deplete that drain and treat it like a... just deplete that bonus and treat it like a normal floor. You don't need that bonus in order to beat it. It's just trying to get some extra mem-bucks. And most time it's not even worth it because they choose the wrong thing to limit. Like, why not move in Octoling form or not move in Swim form? Like, those things are required for safety. Yeah, let's take the armor drop. We want to have abilities to heal. I think I had red as my accent color, but now because I acquired another yellow chip, yellow's my new accent color. The ink will always depend on what is your most abundant color and second most abundant color. And you can get some very interesting combinations depending on the effect. Like, my most abundant chip is purple up until I gathered a different chip, allowing it to change color. And because there's a lot of mooks, at 12 o'clock, well, I felt it was good to shove him away. Now, one thing you must be vigilant in is knowing that these marching, these Adentes and Lentos, just one nudge from them, simply because I have certain hacks turned off, is enough to get you in critical stasis. Like, if you get hit by them once, your movement is absolutely nerfed for a good amount of time, and you better start hopping. Hop and glide. It may not always work, but if you get it to work, it will work. Anywho. No, I'm not doing this floor. Ink attack size sounds pretty good, but I want ink attack range. If I can get some main damage distant, ink range is really good. You can basically turn your splatter shot into what is essentially a... like, with ink range up, you can essentially turn your splatter shot into a jet squelcher. These are springing spiccatos, and their very springs can actually cover a bit of the ground. The portal's floors are all about shooting a portal till it explodes. You need to find an open opportunity to cover it with ink, otherwise it will wash off that ink eventually, and try to spawn more enemies. You can tell when it's about to spawn more enemies when you see a little aura around it before it spawns enemies. If Portals is not the main game mode, it will be Gushers that will spawn enemies. And, yep, that's your indication that things are about to come out from it. And I think in this floor it's just springing spiccatos that show up. All the gelatins are named after musical references, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them are Italian in terms of origin. You have stuff like Adentes, Lentos, Spiccatos, Accelerandos. Yeah. Swim speed up sounds good. Ink attack size also sounds good. Special charge up sounds good. You know what? Let's take the extra membucks. We might turn our yellow into orange. Or turn our purple to orange. Whatever it may be. Now, the one thing I described with the palettes is something that I find really cool about this game mode. About this DLC, because it basically makes your like ink color dynamic. Even if it's limited to just 6 colors, it like your ink color will always be changing, much like the game and matches themselves. So yeah, if you see yourself getting cornered by these enemies, make sure you have at least some turf to run. In harder floors, there will be certain enemies, such as the drizzling Capriosos, will indeed try to cover up the floor that you can swim in to basically prevent your escape route. This is why you have the Pearl Drone. You can use this Pearl Drone as a means to route your escape. And yeah. Show you what I mean by the spiccato springs that leaving behind ink. Like, you saw that I covered some right then and there. Now, if you let the springing spiccatos get too close to you, they will try to splash down on you. So, take them out and use their springs to your advantage whenever possible. Now, what we haven't gotten yet from any of this is a mobile chip. We've seen a few. They're all about increasing the movement speed or boosting your gauges depending on your movement. And yeah, I think that's the only chip we haven't covered yet. You know I'm gonna save my money. This will actually make yellow my main color now. I think it's either going to be orange or purple to become the accented color. Yep, it's purple with the accented color this time. Now, if you're doing an all-luck run, be wary of danger floors. Danger floors, one of the danger floor conditions can be no item drops, meaning that any items that spawn will not spawn at all. Your luck has been turned off. So, if you have a luck run, just go back to the elevator and repick the floor. I don't know if the elevator would give you, like, new floors to choose from. But sometimes you may have to take a non-beneficiary floor in order to take the safest option. Be careful of an Accelerando. Just one touch from their spinning prowess is enough to put you in critical stasis. You are too slow, drizzling Capriosos. I could say what you guys look like, but I'm trying to keep things PG-13. Okay. Tempting. Like, it's got a lot of membucks behind it, but I want this. Ink damage from anything. Like, it depends on anything that you use, anything that's coming from your side of the deal. It's really useful. And it's another one of these. Don't use special weapons. I can live with that. Again, if a bonus is not worth it, don't do it. Just let that meter run out, and you'll be fine. But unfortunately, we are limited. We will lose bonus if we decide to use the Trizuka. So we can't use our shoving tool the way we want to. So we basically have to do this the hard way. We have to get into the front lines and hope that whatever we use can be used to knock them back. Unfortunately, these lentos are in the way. Let me shoot this thing down, so that way I can prevent it from taking my zone. The only thing we haven't seen yet, which we're not going to see until the second tier in this run, is a tower pushing floor. The whirling tower. Turbine tower. We're about to face the easy mode boss of the floor. There's two variations of the boss. The floor 10 variant and the floor 20 variant. Their attacks will differ depending on which floor you're on, and it seems we have Asynchronous Rondo. Asynchronous Rondo. The layered rotator. They will attack, they have the highest mook spawn rate of all the bosses in the game. Simply because they will spawn bosses as you're trying, well, not bosses, but enemies as you're trying to shoot it down. If you get caught in its spotlight, they will attack you with something that's on their screens. And in this case, it's practically toxic mist. Now, if you want to avoid the spotlight, you can indeed get underneath it. However, they will unleash a shockwave while you're underneath the thing, and sometimes they will speed up their spin and fire a few things. It can either be splat bombs, it can either be arpeggios, or the worst thing of all, lasers. And I've lost runs to lasers. Now, in case we get cornered, use that special. Use that special in case you need an escape route. But be careful when using the Trizuka on this thing. In fact, I think Pearl is pointing to one of the weak points. But now they're firing arpeggios. This can be their earliest spawn point, or if it... actually, no, I don't think Danger Floors spawn this early. Now, one thing I can recommend you do is try to hit the higher weak points. You can hit any of the weak points in any order, as long as you can reach them. And this is what I mean by one nudge, you're in critical. Run! One nudge from them, you're in critical. That's what I hate about this mode. Like, they didn't need to be that strong. I feel the only reason why they made it that way is to make it so that you would use hacks to weaken them. But couldn't you just included, like, defense up chips? Like, why isn't there any defense chips? That would have been so useful. Yeah. That's a bad sign for a run if I just almost whiffed it right there. And of course they do the lasers. Sorry for getting so snappy there, but now you know what it's like to get hit once by those things. You want to stay as far away from those things when fighting them. So yeah, homing shot sounds good, but we got a huge chunk of change. Let's go to the machine. Oi. So the vending machine corner. These things are manufactured by Express. We can get some things here, and ooh, I want this. And this will be good too. Sometimes the game gives. You can also change your special this way, and if you plan to get some splash radius up, try it with a few specials. They are really good. You know what? Poison ink. I have ink damage up. I want the poison ink, and because red is now our most abundant color, well, now our ink color is red. This floor has some very nasty, floors and such. Heck, some of them I think are misranked because I feel they're much harder than other floors. Like the oh no, and they're going immediately after the ball. Good thing I got that ball in there, and that was a really fast time there. Really? You're gonna give me another one? When I have this? Like, I could take this. I do want it. But I want this. We're getting a lot of red. And I mean damage, not... Never mind. There's gonna be a point where I'm gonna need to take a blue chip. If you don't have any special that can take advantage of rush damage, I do highly recommend you take advantage of Squid Attack, because at least rush damage will indeed be something that you can use. This is the switchback floor. Now, as the first set of floors are themed are more industrial and possibly museum-like, these floors are more aquarium and a pool-like. Like you've seen one of them feel like a pool. You've seen another feel like an aquarium. In fact, I actually visited an aquarium when I was at Long Beach. So, yeah. And if you find yourself with gelatins wanting to hit you in droves, just shove them away. Now, this last part, it's going to get so bombarded with gelatins that here's what I recommend you do. You have an opening, take this pathway, hit this ink rail, destroy this Noblemente, and there you go. Nice try. Nice try, you little ankle biter. But I have my back door. Hindrance damage sounds good, but not worth the danger floor. Let's see. If only I had, like, main range or something. Like, if I can combo hindrance damage with with sticky ink and poison ink and such, then you got yourself ink lava. But I think springing double hill floor might be the best choice here. Now, double hill floor is one of those floors that I remember the most from these runs. Usually, it's like for the longest times, it was the middle floors that gave me the most trouble. The reason why it's called springing double hill floor is the type of gelatin that spawns here, the springing spiccatos. I think a spiccato is something that's performed with a violin. I could be wrong. I could just correct myself with a simple post edit. And yeah. Earlier today, now I could just like one thing you can indeed use your special for is definitely pushing the tower an impressive distance. And I do recommend it for the checkpoints, because you need to keep that ink above that red line. And holy cow, that was a lot of ink there. Okay, vending machine corner at level 15. This is only guaranteed if you had the one thing turned on. Main ink coverage sounds pretty good. Exposed switchback floor. Like, I don't really have a spending budget, so let's go main ink coverage. Now, another thing you must be aware of, I don't exactly have the floor skip option like with 8's palette. So I have to do, and it's a spectrum floor! Okay, so, one little secret that is known for this, hitting these, pressing these chips plays an instrument and such, and supposedly it plays ebb and flow. But in floors like these, your palette is filled to the your remaining palette is filled to the brim with a certain type of chip, and in this case, mobility. So we're going to be very fast, and our special is going to be charging super fast. So we could just move a lot. And another thing with this, okay, I don't think it, well, unfortunately one of the chips that was not gifted to us in this floor was, Squid Attack. Like, with the, amount of, speed I have, I can move, like, I have the highest running speed, like, this is as fast as I can go, but the swim speed is just, like, all that weight is removed from you. Now, I can't remember the name of these particular enemies, so I'll put it on screen, but you can indeed shoot their little bombs before they hit the ground, and you can just turn it into a splat bomb of your color. But yeah, getting that floor was, kind of a free floor. If you're good with bonus floors, you're good there, but these floors will start to become less, these floors will start to, they will stop showing up on around the 3rd tier as far as I'm aware. So, yeah. Really? You want me to go to this floor? I don't exactly have a spending budget game. In fact, at the very least, I can get explosion knockback. At least I know this floor. I might be taking a big leap here, but I know this floor at least. So yeah, this floor is all about just... Now, be aware of the platform you're on. If they get close, go up. And then start attacking the portal above it. And that's one portal down. I swear the luck drop on this floor in particular is like enhanced, and like there's like nothing, like I don't think the game, like I don't know what it is about this floor, but I feel like luck drops are just more common on this floor. When you're doing portals on rigorous difficulty or on higher floors, portals will spawn loads more gelatins. And I mean loads. Look at what my Trizuka can do to a huge group, and jeez, that Lento just was tossed at the perfect time period. I am surprised I got out of that with an armor still on me. Because it's a rigorous floor. You know the danger of that. Splash damage sounds pretty good. Ink attack size is tempting. Frantic double-decker I can either gamble or take some extra damage. You know, I might as well combo my my ink damage. I'm getting pretty consistent with my palette here, because it's been an equal share of purple, yellow, orange, and red. In fact, purple's becoming accented color again. So yeah, this particular floor is one thing I have to say. Go around the bridge. Make sure that you hit the Capriosos on the way. Ugh. As you can tell, these Capriosos will spawn a lot. In fact, like if you see them on the way, I do highly recommend you just shoot them out of the sky, because more than likely they will basically cover your zone. They cover your zone because they're over an area you can't cover. In fact, I lost my zone, and now those numbers are going back down. So yeah, In fact, that floor always gives me trouble. No joke. But yeah, there's a reason why it's worth taking the risk sometimes, because if you know the floor, you can indeed manage the floor enough to get what you need from it. Let's see, hindrance damage sounds good, but I think I want to increase that poisoning. I'm going to save my membucks. Oh, it's this floor. This floor is the weird floor. It's one of the smallest floors in the entire game, and the gimmick is this. Basically, you have these. Basically, you have the gelatins that will toss bombs at you. Like once they swallow the bomb, well, that happens. Do not let them toss their bombs at you. In fact, you can just do that. Like, if you have an open opportunity, you want to be able to shoot the bomb they have that they're bouncing and such. And as you can tell, the explosion knockback is doing its work. And before you know it, the floor is over. If anything, this is a medium floor. You really want me to go here? Yeah, sure. And if I don't buy anything, it's a free floor. Speedrunners can just take vending machines and just not buy anything from it. And you know what? Yeah, it's a free floor, so time to go face the floor 20 boss. So yeah, the floor 20 boss is going to be the hard mode variant of it. And whatever boss we faced earlier is not going to show up again. So, of course, it's parallel cannon. What else wouldn't it be? Parallel cannon's hard mode variants will start with two parallel inklings, then 3, then 5. As the easy mode variant starts with 1, then 2, then 4. Also, I find it odd that we have a team of 5. That's not legal. It should be 4v4. That one, I think, had a roller. This one has a brush. There will always be a parallel inkling that will spawn with... that will immediately triple splash down. And in fact, I think this will be the... Nope, it's not that one. Yep, it's the next one. Oh, good lord! Yeah. Pro will always point towards them. This one has a splatter shot. This... Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Get up there. Now, one thing you can take advantage of is when the parallel inklings get mooks spawning, you can use that to your advantage and basically get them to drop some ammo. Like, you can get it to drop armor and such, and I highly recommend you splat any mooks that are dropped by these folks. That one has a Brella. Brellas are always the most pain to fight in this mode. In fact, I'm surprised that pierced. Keep your distance from them. Please, if you have no armor, like I don't, keep your distance. Because this one also has a roller. Sometimes they will have repeat weapons. And I think the one I run into the least has to be Stringer. Because I never see Stringer whenever I'm playing this. That one had a bucket. That one had Slosher. Now it's time to face the last one. And they also have Brush. This one had 2 repeats. In fact, I don't think I see, shoot, what was it? Charger either. Yeah, I don't think I see Charger or Stringer in in Parallel Canon, period. This is as close as you're gonna get to the, like, Octarian Squad levels in this game mode. Which I find a shame, because that should have been a game mode. Really? Really? You put this here? Oh, this floor? This floor sucks. Don't go there. There's a reason why I'm also avoiding that floor. There are going to be certain floors that I will deliberately avoid for this series. And we're in the final stretch, which is where I've lost many of my runs to. That is tempting, because it will actually combo with Explosion Knockback a lot. I mean, I can take these, at least. I think I'll save my... I mean... I can at least take advantage of rush knockback and such. I just have to get rid of my, Oy. I'll just take another. Oh yeah, I didn't like the selection, but it was better than what I was being given. Whirling enemies to bridge floor. You know what, given the choices I have that I can't really take advantage of, let's take it. The only thing we haven't come across is lucky disc piece drop. You want disc piece drop whenever that happens. Like, take disc piece drop. Don't ever take it for granted. Take it as much as you can. Because that will come in handy. No, you don't. Oh! Okay, I am flying. Yeah, they tried to attack me. Ugh. This could get really dangerous rather quickly. Yeah, I took the disc piece. They can spawn in droves, like so. Huh. If only I had some additional ink range damage up, because that would actually be helpful. Because if I had some additional ink range damage, I could take advantage of that and possibly some main damage distant. Because main damage distant and ink range up, those are really good to have. Holy. So is that. Like, any armor you can get, take it. Oof. This is just not a nice floor. No siree, it isn't. Oh. Just use your Trizuka in a way where you can just basically. Ugh. Accelerondos are nothing to scoff at. If they so much as just bump you, you are hosed if you don't get out of the way. I will say I'll probably have some moments of silence trying to get this. So this is where I'm going to need to take that focus to the absolute maximum. Extensively circus covered floor. Unreasonable mountain battlefield ascent floor. This is a really good floor to have. I can either just take my size or fight the mountain. Well, let's risk throwing away the run. And knowing what floor this is probably going to be a don't move in Octoling floor and such. Not that it matters at this point in time. Don't use your sub-weapon. again, this is where I think the luck drops come in handy, because you can tell, like, it's definitely, doing its magic. You can just... Ugh. Okay, get one of those. Just swim between the openings. And, of course, you see that, now, you can damage the shells of these things, but it's more optimal to damage the, very thing they're trying to throw at you. And sometimes their comrades will just like to bump each other. And any disc piece drops you get, take it. Because it means you're closer to having a, step-off song activate, and you want to take that, because on floors like this, a lot of enemies spawn at once. A lot. So yeah. Just come prepared and fire. Shove that battering ram you call the Trizuka and fire. Nope. Nope. I think my poison ink is really working here. And there we go. Oh, these guys. Name on screen, since I can't remember. Oh. Just, if you have it in a close to exploded state, yes, Cleo, just do what you can to Hail Mary it. Just make sure you don't get too reckless with it. You know what? I deserve to go here. Watch it give me nothing. It's gonna be a free floor. Like, I don't think I can complain about a free floor. You can use this as a pseudo floor skip. But, oh. Yeah. Having any of this is good. Just increase that explosion knockback. Ugh. And now it's just giving me drone chips because it really, really insists that I have a drone on me. Ugh. You know, if I'm gonna have a drone, I might as well have a splat bomb. So much for my consistency in chip color. Hey. So, yeah. So, even if this is an easy floor, look at how many enemies spawn from it. If this were early on, these floors would be considered rigorous. They built these floors in a sense that you will be, that your chip composition will carry you by. So if they call this thing an easy floor, they're crazy. So yeah, take that thing to the bottom, and just stop that Lento from bumping into it. And there we go. That floor, no matter which variant it is, even on easy, is always the most brutal floor ever. Yeah, we're still kicking. Not for long, because I'm fully expecting to waste another night on this. Oh, you don't know how tempting it is to max out my explosion knockback, but... Springing gateway floor? Sure. If this is the floor I'm thinking of... Oh no, it's the... Oh, it's a luck floor! Okay, so these lucky floors can indeed spawn here. But by the time you have them spawn, you already are like almost full on your pallet. And I don't think they spawn, like, I don't think these floors spawn if you have your pallet already full. If your pallet should already be full before the then before the run is up, it will mean that you'll just gain pearls for the floor. Now, because of my pallets, I have to be absolutely careful here. You can tell that a lot of enemies are spawning because of it. But I can just do this. So yeah. This will actually benefit me. No, not doing this one. Every time I've done this floor, it's always ended up in failure. This is a danger floor. I'll just have to take the least beneficial chip for me because, like, drone chips are going to be very limited because you only have one slot and only 2 types of chips that you can use. I'd say, could be worse. Don't take damage is one of those cases where if you're good at maintaining distance, just do that. Nope. You will not hurt me today. And the idea with the drone charge is basically, I think it can be used to just boost your odds. No, boost your like your chip activation rate. So in this case, because Pearl has a splat bomb, like if I picked up a battery charge, it will just charge it up immediately so Pearl can drop another one. But hey, I only took a tiny bit of damage, but it's still a net profit. Feel the explosions. No, I'll just take the free floor. I'm not going to get another run like this for a long time. Sometimes I can be on autopilot and that's what gives me the win. I mean, I can take this, but... Like, I could just turn myself into a plow. I think I'll take the risk in turning my shoving weapon into my shoving tool into just a risk assessment. We are almost done with the floor. I would have liked it if it was Booyah Bomb, though. Booyah Bomb or Triple Splashdown. You really just want me to have this, don't you? I wish this wasn't a danger floor, because if it wasn't a danger floor, I'd totally take it on. This is a high-risk floor that I don't ever have, like, a good run with. I'm gonna have to take the drone splat bomb. This game just wants me to use drone splat bombs, apparently. It's the 2-bridge floor again. Fortunately, we haven't gone to the road. I'll talk about the road probably, like, on the next weapon we do this in. It's probably going to be a while before we do another weapon with this. Like, all the failed runs you're going to see on the extra channel for a good reason. Ugh. And... like, you can indeed just use the... ugh, dang it. Okay, I want this. Might as well take this. Because hopefully that you'll get a good weapon, like a good chip drop the moment you reach floor 29. Because it's the last buff you will ever get. Oof. In fact, I think the knockback actually works on this thing. Ink stamp, I've yet to do some science with it, so it's gonna be a while. But this is my second attempt at the final boss of this, and I've never had a good time with it, simply because of the third phase always giving me trouble. It's always the third phase, simply because of what one thing that could happen, and it's happened to me countless times every time I've even practiced this. And the worst part is, The best run I ever had was not recorded. I was on brush. I've actually beaten this. So, time for me to possibly throw this away. You don't know how nervous I am. Because I'm just expected to just lose this one. I am so expecting to just have this run be over. Smallest, your parents want me to play with you. Hi everyone. Aw, you came to visit me. Yeah, Smallest, we want to be the world's weirdest. You want to be the world's weirdest trading dummy for us? Hee hee hee. I'm much more than a tweening dummy. I'm your worst nightmare. Alright. Overlorder. This is basically Portal's in boss form. Overlorder can have many attacks, spawning a lot of gelatins, firing a bunch of shots, or using specials against you, including ones that you cannot even get in this game mode. Except for support ones like Big Bubble, and such. So yeah, it starts off not so bad, but eventually Overlorder starts taking notice to you and will try to target you and fire at you. So be always on the move. Be always on the move and such. And one of the things it can do is summon 4 giant tentacles and such. They can also knock you away. Be fortunate that they can just knock you away. Or they can just splat you whole. Now 3 portals will spawn from this. These portals will actually start moving. And if you're not careful, well, it's the 3rd phase that always gets me. And if I decide to be silent on the 3rd phase, you know why. Simply put, Overlorder can use specials, and one of the most annoying there are 2 specials that will be the end of your runs. And the lasers, like the killer whales, or it was essentially the lasers, or the reef slider. Yeah. They have super jumps. One of these and super jumps is one of those specials you can't even get in this game mode. So, just nope. I know you tried to push me away. Yeah. Right now it's firing just bullets whenever it tries to target you, but don't get used to that. In fact, it can even pierce through armor, as far as I'm aware. So, I've lost so many runs because you will not get a critical stasis grace period from it. Oi. Yeah, be absolutely careful when facing him, because he can use specials against you, and you don't want to be where he is. You don't want to be in the sights of either his lasers or the reef slider. In fact, the reef slider probably should give you flashbacks to Inner Agent 3. You wanna know why? It has extended range, and I find that complete and total BS, because that extended range can easily be the end of you. In fact, it's one of his most used attacks from the times I was trying to defeat him. Sometimes he'll point an arrow to you and fire some mooks. Maybe they'll fire some bullets and such. Those are the easiest to avoid. And one thing I'm definitely trying to do is trying to play it safe and just fire bombs close to them. And bombs close to them, trying to get an open opportunity to attack. Oi. Oh no, I think it's doing lasers. I don't think I have an armor. The lasers can also cover up the very floor you're inking. In fact, oh, I could use some armor right now. I can seriously use some armor. Now, this is the moment where I'm going to try to stay silent and try to get rid of these, so forgive me. Try to always keep moving, because this is where it starts firing, firing the reef sliders. Oh no. Of all things that killed me, it was not the reef slider, it was me getting too close to a marching cadente. I wanted some armor. This is gonna take another night. Another night. I just want this done.